He's been an attorney in northern British Columbia, prosecuting attorney in British Columbia's crime capital. And he came down to be our guys' dean for 2 years. And as he was our dean, he would play frisbee with us, work out with us, and the most memorable of all, he would go camping with us. And often, we were sitting around a campfire at night, he would give us a worship. And many a time, his worship theme was on the righteousness of Christ. He would tell us of how Christ's righteousness, when we accept Christ, his character stands in place of ours. And for his sake, we are counted righteous. So when God sees us, he no longer sees us, but he sees his Son in our place. Many times I would listen and believe to some extent. I'd still have a question in my mind. I still have some doubt whether he was right or not. And go to bed that night in the stillness of the trees, and wake up the next morning a partial legalist. Then I came to Lemoore. Still questioning, still wondering. And one evening, an Adelphian former, 3 steps to Christ. She was speaking of Christ's righteousness and his death for us and acceptance. She said these words on page 62. His character stands in place of your character. And you are accepted as if you had never sinned. And when I heard those words, it just brought back a flood of memories. All those times in worships, in the mountains, in chapel. And I realized that what he had said was really true. That it was true. But really, what does this mean practically? What does it mean to have Christ's righteousness, his character, stand in place of ours? I once bought an iPhone for my friend. Smashed, black, and disfigured. Part of the deal was that he would help me to change the cover on it. So I bought it, and when the cover finally came, went down to his house, we jumped onto his trampoline and started pulling the phone apart, piece by piece, until all that we had left was a pile of iPhone parts, 2 covers, and a frame. And then we began to rebuild. And when we were done, the phone was no longer smashed, no longer disfigured, but it was white and beautiful. As I looked into its cover, I could see my reflection. And this phone reminds me of Christ. For both of us, for as I bought that phone for my friend, Christ has bought us while we were smashed, while we were disfigured. And his greatest desire, the greatest longing of his heart, is for us to be covered. For us to be covered so that in us, when God looks at us, he no longer sees the smashed, destroyed, disfigured people that we are. But he sees the perfect righteousness, the perfect white covering of his Son. And as he sees a reflection of him. And as Christ stands for us in heaven, he longs to stand for us, for each and every one of us. And if by faith we accept him, his character will stand in place of our character. We will be accepted as if we had never sinned. And that is his greatest desire. The greatest desire of his heart for us. But as he stands for us, as he longs to cover us and stand in our place, in heaven above, so Christ longs to stand. Christ longs for us to stand in his place on this earth